Good evening, everybody. Steve Hess at OpenBOM. And in today's video, we're going to continue the discussion of OpenBOM Design, Workspace Manager, CAD, and how we interact with our colleagues in the design process. Again, using OpenBOM Design as our data manager. So in this video, I want to introduce you to a couple of the controls and the features that we'll be using as we collaborate with our colleagues on a design, again, using OpenBOM Design as our data storage. So first of all, I would like to introduce you to a kind of a new idea, and it's kind of maybe an old idea reinvented here. And it's something in design, in the road bike design, you'll see we have something called file lock. So all of our designs have this column file lock. So you think about file lock as sort of a modern check-in, check-out. All of us are familiar with the check-in and check-out operations in classic PDM or classic data management. We also know that those operations typically came along with a big file transfer, many files checked in, checked out. So what's new here with OpenBOM Design is that the workspace manager now is the arbiter of files and what's new and what's local and what's updated and what needs to be synchronized. And our smart sync logic takes care of that. So what file lock is essentially you telling OpenBOM Design that you are the only person who can put back changes for this particular file. There may be many cases when I'm working with my colleagues where we both have permission to put back a file, whichever one is being, whatever's changing it. And as we upload those and others will download them. And we'll deal with that a little bit more, I think, in the next video. But in this case, I'm thinking about where I've asserted a lock on a file and says, I'm the only person that can put this back to the exclusion of all others. So let's take a look at how that works. On another screen over here, I'm signed in as another user who has access to this design. And I'm going to just kind of watch this 8005 up here. I'm going to assert the lock on that as another user. So you see I've got a different username here. So what happens then? Well, let's go back to SolidWorks and kind of continue our work on this design as if we had, if we'd made some changes. So you may recall that I think in our last video, I made a change to this radius and I saved the file. So I'm going to go ahead and you can assume in this case, I made another change. I'm going to say save. And the OpenBOM add-in for SolidWorks, which is listening to the save operations, says to me, look, Steve, you don't have permissions to put this file back. This particular user here has asserted a lock. Do you want to proceed? And of course, I could still save the changes locally and I could work it out with my colleague about who's going to put the file back. But I'm going to follow the advice of OpenBOM right here and just say no. And I'm not going to save that file. Keep in mind, I still have changes in the in the SolidWorks editor. So let's see what happens. Maybe I call up my colleague and we have a discussion, and he or she puts back their versions of the file, or we make an agreement and they release the lock on there that they have asserted. So watch that same box up there. They go ahead and clear that lock. That lock is cleared. And I'm going to come along now and save this file one more time. I'm going to say file, save. And SolidWorks saves the file. Okay, so I've just saved my file locally. I'm going to consult Workspace Manager, take a look at the file sync report, and I will see that I have one file local, that 8005 that needs to be updated, and I'll just go ahead and synchronize this. So what we've done here in this video is we've introduced the idea of file lock versus check-in, check-out. So we'll start to become more familiar with file lock. We'll see that other users may have asserted a lock on there, and the SolidWorks or the CAD add-in will keep us from saving a file that we can't put back. And once we clear that lock, we can go ahead and save that version. You can see now that I've just saved actually another version of this file. So always love to hear from you at support@openbom.com. That is file lock for OpenBOM Design. And the next video, we'll start to discuss how multiple users may be collaborating in a single design, making changes. Thanks.